But let's go off the ice, Frank, because there were a couple of spicy moments yesterday, including Jim Rutherford's comments in Vancouver when asked about Quinn Hughes' future with the team. Let's take a listen.
Down to money with him. He said before he wants to play with his brothers. And that would be partly out of our control, in our control, if we brought his brothers here. So there's many moving parts here. Agree 100%. This franchise cannot afford to lose a guy like Quinn Hughes. And we will do everything we can to keep him here. But at the end of the day, it'll be his decision. Well, we got to be careful with tampering here, so we'll just leave it at that.
Frank, the camera pan to Patrick Allvin is some of the best unintentional humor I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was almost like he was kind of like, get me out of this shot, and the nervous laugh, and for good reason, because we've seen people fined for tampering for saying way less than that, and the NHL has been very clear this season with an increased protocol and upping fines for tampering that type of stuff won't be tolerated. So wouldn't be surprised to see Jim Rutherford get a call from the NHL. That's blunt. I mean, that's classic Jim Rutherford in as clean and clear a way as you can get it. I told this joke on Morning Cup of Hockey, a quick little story. That's who he is. Like, the first time I ever met Jim Rutherford 12, 13 years ago, I'm standing outside of a locker room and he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, are you Frank?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Bleep, you look so much better in your online photo." And I'm like, oh my God, like, what was that? Like, hello, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. He just says what he's thinking. And I think that press conference was very clear to set the table for the Vancouver Canucks and their market and their fan base to say, hey, we're entering a really turbulent period of time. Whether it comes to what happens with Elias Pettersson, Rickett and his future, Quinn Hughes, their quest for a number one center, all these different things that the Vancouver Canucks are looking at. They may get some of them done. They may get none of them done. It may turn out really poorly. And it felt like that press conference on Monday was a warning shot to everyone. Hey, this might be ugly for a bit. And if they can pull a few rabbits out of their hat, if they can accomplish some of those things this summer and turn it in a positive direction, they're going to look like geniuses. But they were letting everyone know, hey, we've got a really difficult job ahead of us. And I think that was the point of Monday's press conference.
Yeah, it's an apples to oranges kind of comparison, but when the Brady Tkachuk to the Rangers thing kind of popped up, Michael Andlauer, he was pissed off about it. If I'm the Devils, I'm not really pissed about this comment about maybe we have to bring the brothers here, because I just sit there and go, well, I'm obviously not trading you Jack Hughes, so the only option is what you're going to offer sheet Luke Hughes this summer, which again, I don't see happening. But for Canucks fans who are maybe a little bit nervous here, Frank, about the future of their captain, do you think this is something like, is this signaling a move sooner rather than later with him having 2 years left on his deal?
I don't think so. I think what it does, though, is it opens the door for the possibility that this might be out of the Canucks' hands. That plus, I think this is a really significant moment in Quinn Hughes' tenure for what happens next with Rick Tocchet. He was very vocal the last couple of weeks about wanting to play for Tocchet and how he's been the best coach that he's played. I think Adam Foote on his staff has gone a long way in helping with that. And this team is the most competitive that they've been under Rick Tocchet. So if you're Quinn Hughes and you want to try and find a way to get back into contender mode or status, having him on the bench is going to help. And if he goes somewhere else, I think it's a big blow, not just to the phrase and the fabric of the team and the culture that they've tried to build, but more than that, I think what it does is it further cracks open the door for Quinn Hughes to go elsewhere later.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think a few years ago when we would have conversations about the Vancouver Canucks, Frank, it was like, man, they got these pillars, right? It's Pettersson and it's JT Miller, Brock Besser, Thatcher Demko, Quinn Hughes. And now you look at all of them. I mean, Miller's gone. Besser is good is gone. And the other three now all have question marks around them. It's crazy to see how this has played out over the last 24 months in Vancouver. Very unpredictable.
there's a very real possibility that starting on October 7th, when the puck drops next season, that Quinn Hughes is the last of the pillars remaining.
What's up, hockey fans? If you enjoyed that video, then you need to be hitting the subscribe button right here at Daily Faceoff. Exclusive interviews and analysis from our hockey insider Frank Seravalli, fantasy updates from Brock Sagan, and a daily live show at noon Eastern Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the fantastic content, so hit that subscribe button.